Hey Andrew, it's me. So I'm going to help you try to understand your Java exam. Let's see here. So you have 12 questions. I'm gonna do the first four, because I'm tired. I have to go to bed. And then I'll do 4 more tomorrow. I am not an expert at Java. I just learned it in 2 weeks. So if I don't understand something, I'm gonna Google it, and you'll see me Google it. So the first question, and also I talk kind of slow. Let me know if it's too slow, and then next time I'll try to speak faster. So the first question is, which one creates an instance of an array? So we're creating an instance of an array. So these instances, let's say they were all instances. These would be the data types. Your answer was char, this, and some string. Now, if this said string, this would probably be right. The char data type only allows you to have a single character. So if you wanted this to be true, it would be, just one character in here, like a string of one character. Okay, float. This isn't an array because it needs to have this square bracket in here, so this is wrong. If it did have a square bracket, it would mean that the array was of length 20 and it's allowed to have only 20 float data type numbers. This is a, what do they call these? 2D array. And again, this is the wrong way of doing it. It would be data type, square brackets, and then the name. So this is the right answer because it's simple. You have int, square bracket, the name, what you want to name it, and new, int again, and 15. The 15 means that the array has 15 items in it, 15 int numbers. It's empty because you're just creating an instance here. Okay, I hope you have a better idea of what this question was looking for and what was right or wrong, and you learned some new things. If you don't know, float is a kind of decimal number in Java. Okay, number 2. What will be the output of the program? This one was a little confusing. So this is public class thread demo, private int count equals 1. Public synchronized void, do something. Alright, what the hell is synchronized void? I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't know what that is. Alright, it's a synchronized block. Okay, so these blocks on the same object can only have one thread executing inside them at the same time. Blah blah blah. How do we simplify this? This is an example. Okay, so it's incrementing this dot count plus equal value. So it's gonna add value to this. Alright, let's see here. Okay, I mean, I don't really understand more about what this is, but it just looks like some kind of increment. Okay, let's go back. Oops, okay, here we go. Yeah, it's incrementing here. Okay, so for int I equals 0, so I starts out as being 0. Alright, I'm gonna look kind of silly here. I need a notepad to do some math. Pew, 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 pew. Alright, number 2. So we have I equals 0. Okay, we have to call this and then that will happen. So when it's called, I'll do the calculation. Public static void main. Okay, this is the main. Thread demo, that's this demo. Okay, so we're creating an object from the class. Thread A1 equals new A demo. Thread A2 equals new A demo. And the hell is A? Oh, here we go. Class A. Okay. I can see. I mean, I don't know how you got this right. I think you told me you guessed. Did a good guess because this looks really complicated. So this class is an extension of this class. So thread demo public A thread demo td blah blah demo equals td. Bucket void run demo dot do something. Okay, so let's just assume that it instantiated or called this class and made an object demo, and we called this thing here. So I may not get this right. I'm going to try to understand this. Where is TD? Okay. A1, A2. I could see it going 1 through 10, but 11 through 20? How would it do that? Demo. It's TD. Oh. Okay. Okay, so here it runs here. But it doesn't do something yet. Alright, well, I'm gonna have to ask a friend about this one. But you got it right. You should still try to understand it. Okay, number 3. These are hard. I don't know if I'll be able to help you. Which 2 statements are true about wrapper or string classes? So you want 2 statements that are true. Okay, if x and y refer to instances of different wrapper classes, then the fragment x dot equals y will cause a compiler failure. No, this wouldn't do that, because if you do x dot equals y, it would either give you a true or a false. There's no failure. Okay, number 2. If x and y refer to instances of different wrapper classes, then x, this is also equal to y, can sometimes be true. No. Different classes are always going to be different. The instances, even if it's an instance of the same class, they're going to be 2 different objects in 2 different places in memory, and they're not going to be the same. So it's not sometimes true. If x and y are string references, and if x dot equals y is true, then x, this other equal, is true. Okay, let's try to understand the difference between x dot equals y and x equals y. I'm going to Google it because Google is better at explaining than I am. Dot equals, and there you go. Somebody already did it. Okay, in general, both equals and equal operator in Java are used to compare objects to check equality. But here are some of the differences between the 2. Main difference between dot equals method and this equal operator is that one method, oh, okay, I gotta click this. One is a method and the other is operator. Okay, so this is a method which comes from a class, and this is an actual hard-coded operator. We can use the operator, the equals operator, to reference comparisons. And dot equals is a method for content comparison. In simple words, the operator checks if both objects point to the same memory location, whereas .equal evaluates to the comparison of values in the objects. So .equals compares the values, and this checks if objects point to the same memory location. So I don't know if you remember when objects are created and things are instantiated, they take up memory space and Java keeps the location. So this is what this is doing. Because if it's the same location, it's the same thing. Oops, my bad. Okay, let's go back. I hope you understand. If you don't, I'll try to explain it again later. Okay, if x, y, and z refer to instances of wrapper classes, and x.equals y is true, and y.equals z is true, then z.equals x will always be true. This is true because we just looked here about the difference. Because this evaluates to the comparison of values in the objects. We're looking at the value, so if these values x and y are the same, and y and z are the same, x and y, and then y and z, then obviously z and x are going to be the same. If you don't understand, let me know. I mean, I'll try to put it here. So basically it's like if x and y are the same, and then y and z are the same, so then that means x and z are the same by this connection here. So that's gonna be true. If x and y are string references and x operator equals y is true, then y.equals x will be true. This will always be true because when we looked again, the operator checks if both objects point to the same memory location, meaning it's going to be the exact same thing. And if it's the exact same thing, this will always be true. The value will always be true, obviously. So I hope you understand that. It's 4 and 5. Okay, last one. What two statements are true about the result obtained from calling math.random? Okay, math.random, it calls a number. Let's see here. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what it is. It picks a random number for you. Yeah, so it returns a double value with a positive sign, greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1. So it's not going to be a negative number, like negative 1 point, blah, blah, blah. Oops, that's wrong. Okay, not that random. Okay, it's not going to be this. It's not going to be this. You know, anything like that. So what's right, okay, is going to be something like 0 point. You know, something like that, or okay, let's go here. I love tutorials point. If you don't understand something, go to this website. It breaks everything down for you. Alright, so returns a double value. Double is a data type, like float. It's a little different. Double, I think, comes from a class, and float is a, what do they call them? I'll find the name later, but it's a different kind of data type category. So the values are returned randomly, pseudo-randomly. It's interesting. That's basically it. Let's see here. You can declare it. Yeah, okay, so I hope this question isn't too difficult. So, what two statements are true about the result when you call math.random? The result is less than 0, no. Then that would mean it's a negative number, so that's wrong. It's not 1. The result is greater than or equal to 0, that's wrong. Because it's greater than 0 but also less than 1. So the result is, wait, you should, yeah, you gotta fight this question. This is not right. I don't know why they put that. Because it says 2 is expected answer. This is wrong. The result is less than 0, that's true. The result is greater than 0, that's wrong. The result is greater than or equal to 1. Yeah, so if it were up to me, this would be the only right answer. But I guess together they make sense. Honestly, this is confusing because the right answer is the result is greater than or equal to 0 and less than 1. But you can't say one or the other because that assumes that greater than or equal to 0 means it would go above 1 and approaching infinity. And this assumes that the result is less than 1, that it would go below 0 into the negative. So I would probably yell at the instructor, whoever created the exam, about this. Okay, so I hope this helped you. And I'll do the next 4 tomorrow. I know your exam is Friday, but I'll probably get through the whole test by Tuesday. And if you want, I can also go back to the previous tests. Maybe they have, hold on, you have 2 attempts, right? Maybe they have different questions. Oh no, it's the same shit. Well, if you're gonna take the same shit on Friday, you better get 100% from what I'm showing you. Alright, so I hope you can hear me and understand me.